Hi there, good afternoon everyone, and how are you doing today? Here we are on the menopause mindset. So today, obviously, things are a little bit different. We are not going to talk about the menopause. We are going to talk more about mindset today for obvious reasons. Now, mindset is actually a menopausal issue, and I think I'm going to be covering more about this because I've recently come across somebody who is a menopause psychologist, and I thought to myself, wow, that is really, really interesting. So I'm going to be opening up this whole idea of menopause and mindset a little bit more. But for today, we are going to talk about the big elephant in the room. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, a lot of us are feeling very overwhelmed, very unsettled, and very uncertain at the moment. And I've got quite a lot to say on the subject. So I wanted to do this to give you some massive value, but also to talk about something that's really relevant and really, really current, and that you will find maps over into your menopausal health. You can use everything that I'm talking about today for your own menopausal health. And interestingly, there's a government thing, I think it was somebody on Sky News talking about the metabolic effect and metabolic syndrome, and how this is why we are in the state that we are in, because pretty much, over half the population does have this metabolic syndrome. And we were talking about that last week in terms of belly fat. So please go and watch that video, because your belly fat is a symptom of metabolic syndrome, which has a massive impact on your immunity and your immune system. So now more than ever is time to ditch the junk food and start exercising for the sake of your immunity. So just before we start, I just wanted to introduce myself in case you don't know me. So I am Sally Garozzo. I'm a rapid transformational therapist, which is a 2-hour treatment that's done under hypnosis, designed to get to the root of your childhood programming, the blocks that you encountered in your childhood. We get rid of them in order to help you live a life that is more healthy, wealthy, abundant, and full of happiness. So that's what I do. I work mainly with menopausal women, but obviously I've had loads of experience with working with all sorts of people, helping people with OCDs, anxiety, panic disorder, depression, weight gain, smoking, drinking, that sort of thing. So thank you very much for joining me. If you are watching, do say hi. Let me know that you're watching. Let's see if anyone's watching. A lot of people do tend to catch the replay. I can see that one person's watching. So just leave a comment. Let me know who you are. It's Mariana. Hello, my lovely. Right. So today's live is called Mindset and Meltdowns. It's okay not to be okay. So we all know what's going on right now. There's a global pandemic and it's changing the way that we think about everything. It's changing the way that we think about money. It's changing the way we think about food. It's changing the way we think about each other. It's changing our values. It's changing how we consume. It's changing how we shop. And it's changing how we spend money. And it's scary, right? Because we are programmed not to like change very much, especially as we get older, all right? We think we're not as flexible in the mind as we get older, but it's not true. It is just a societal conditioning, a cultural conditioning that we have bought into, that the older you get, the less flexible you are, the more rigid you are. But it's not true. However, having said that, this is a massive period of uncertainty, and we really need to let ourselves off the hook if we are not feeling okay right now, because we are human beings and we don't really like uncertainty. The way that the world is constructed, it's all about being in control, being certain. We need to know what's happening now so that we can plan for the future. Our whole economic, political and social structure is set on this idea of knowing what's coming so that we can plan, make plans, use our logical mind, our thinking, logical, rational mind to know what to do next. But it's the creative part of you, the creative part of the brain, which is going to be needed right now. The part of you that improvises, the part of you that can make stuff up on the spot. And I'm going to get to this in a minute. So we don't like uncertainty. We are born with a need for certainty because it helps us feel safe, secure, comforted, and sure about our next step, right? So I have got 3 really brilliant tips that I've put together for you today to help you deal with the uncertainty facing us right now and to help you create the mindset that you absolutely need to get through this period, whether it be, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or the rest of your life. So now more than ever, tip number 1, it's really important for you to express difficult emotions. So many people go through their life with a stiff upper lip and not expressing vulnerability, not showing weakness and stuffing them down. But what we're finding is that our emotions are overflowing at the moment. They're coming right up to the surface. Now, it's really important that you let them out. And the sooner you face your current reality, your current situation, whether it's uncomfortable or, not so uncomfortable, whatever it is, I want you to turn and I want you to face it, right? So, last week we were all coming to terms with the potential for a lockdown, social distancing and self-isolation. And, on Monday last week, I had a massive wobble because I had a tenant who runs a fish and chip shop and he was like, I can't pay rent. So he got into the fear mode and he reacted, and I had an instant reaction as well. But I took my time and I dealt with the situation calmly and we came to an agreement. And this whole week I have been trying to get my head around the idea of not having an income at all, or having a significantly reduced income. So it's important that we face what's going on, that we face our own personal reality and how things might change for us. And the quicker we do this, the easier it's going to be for us to adapt. It's like ripping off that band-aid. We need to rip it off, and the sooner we rip it off, the better. So this is about not running away from your emotions, right? Not burying your head in the sand. Because if we bury our head in the sand, if we stuff our emotions down, guess where they're going to be in a year's time? They're going to be right there, and you're going to have to deal with them in the future. So you may as well deal with them now. Let them out. Do not suppress your emotions, because you can suppress your emotions, but you can never eradicate them. And by suppressing them, you actually affect your immune system. You can create an autoimmune disease by suppressing your emotions. So it's so important to let them out. How good does it feel to have a good cry? There's a reason why you feel good after you have cried. I don't know what the exact biochemistry reasons are behind it, but let's all acknowledge the fact that it feels good when we've had a good cry. So it's really important to absolutely acknowledge what's going on. So I've been telling a lot of my clients recently, sit down and just record into a dictaphone or write it out. It's okay for me to feel sad right now. It's okay for me to have mixed emotions right now. It's okay for me to feel disappointed right now. It's okay for me to feel scared right now, because if you name the emotion and then stick a because on the end of it and just keep going. So you stick a because on the end of it and then you fill in the reason why. It's okay for me to feel scared right now because I don't know where my next bit of income is coming from. It's okay for me to feel confused right now because, or for me at the moment, it's okay for me to feel sorrow right now because I'm seeing all of my friends' businesses close down who've they've worked so hard over their lives, you know, and I've seen them grow and flourish, and it really saddens me to see them sad. So express your emotions, get it out of your system, you know, sing songs if you need to. Singing, you know, I've been a singing teacher for 20 years and I've seen the impact that singing can have on our emotions, on our biochemistry, and on each other as well. It's hugely uplifting. So this is an opportunity to really face your vulnerability, be courageous, and, you know, it's now or never. Well, it's not never, but now is a good time to really do that. So here's a little caveat. I want you to have your meltdowns, but I want you to have them, I don't want you to have them publicly on social media, because there's a thing called mirror neurons. And so I'm just reading Mariana's comment here. Yeah, you had the same problem with your tenants. Hopefully we'll get through it. So I want to talk about mirror neurons. Don't have your meltdowns on social media, because there's a thing called mirror neurons. So mirror neurons exist in the brain, and they're literally mirrors. So whenever you see someone, for example, throwing up, it makes you feel sick. Right? If ever you watch pornography, if you ever see people having sex or hear people having sex, it makes you feel turned on, right? If ever you watch someone eating a cake, you want that cake, right? They are mirror neurons. If ever you've watched someone having a panic attack, you start to feel panicky yourself. If ever you watch someone having an ice cream, you want an ice cream, right? Mirror neurons are there so that we empathize with each other. Now, the trouble is it goes too far. So I think we all have a social responsibility in this day and age with what is going on to spread hope, to spread upliftment, to spread a different perspective, to keep the economy going, just to spread a little bit of what is going to do us good. Of course, we have to look at the facts. Of course, we have to watch the news, but we don't have to watch the news all day. We can bypass things on social media that we know are not going to be good for us. And that includes you having your meltdowns. So what I'm saying is be a leader. Even if you might not see yourself as a leader, you can step up to that responsibility right now by being an example for other people. And I think I'm going to talk more about this in a moment. So tip number 2, your mind communicates in words and pictures. So this is about the words and the pictures that you are saying in your own mind as we go through this pandemic, right? And there's a word, pandemic. Did you know the word pandemic has the word panic in it? Yes. So the word pandemic, it makes you feel on high alert. It puts you on high alert. So I came across this quote recently, and it is, words are like magic. That's why they call it spelling. So abracadabra, you know, all of those kind of spells that witches cast, it's the words, it's the intention behind it that actually makes the magic happen. And that's true. So your mind is always listening out for the words and pictures that you're telling it. And it communicates in words and pictures. Words hold an energy. They imbue your body with different feelings. They release neurotransmitters. Words release neurotransmitters. Pictures in your mind release neurotransmitters. So you have a pharmacy inside your brain, and you can dispense whatever neurotransmitter you like based on the words and the pictures that you use. So if you don't have the feeling of what you want at the moment, it's because you are using the wrong words and the wrong pictures, and you can easily put that right. Okay, so I have created a new hypnosis for everybody, free of charge. I'm not charging for it. And I'm going to put a link. Oh, I have already, I think, put a link up there. It's the one with you twat on the end. which I thought was very apt. So yeah, grab that. So it's a hypnosis it's a very light hypnosis, and it helps you to change the words and the pictures in your head around this time. So I want you to promise me that you will avoid using words like nightmare. This is a nightmare. This is, I feel terrified. I am so panicked by this. So when you use words like nightmare, this is going to kill me, this is going to kill my business. When you use words like that, guess what's going to happen? And there is hope. I watched an amazing video this morning by a business coach who just completely inspired me, and I did a complete 180 on my thinking process around this whole economic shift that we're going through. So yes, this is about staying in charge of your personal vibration. All right, your personal vibration is the thing that is going to help you get through this. So your personal vibration, your personal alignment means staying focused on what you want now more than ever, because what you focus on grows. All right. So it's totally okay to have mixed emotions right now. Of course, we all have mixed emotions right now, but don't allow them to put you into a conflict zone in yourself. So let yourself have mixed emotions, let yourself feel, but don't feed that fear. There's one thing feeling the emotion and letting it out and being present with the emotion, and it's another thing keep feeding that fear and that emotion. So you can scroll through social media and you can see something that catches your eye, you can read it, and that can send you into a panic. It's important to express that fear and that panic right there and then, but think to yourself, okay, that didn't give me a good emotional reaction, so I know that if I see something like that again, I'm just going to scroll past it and maintain my energetic focus. Mariana, I will let you know. Eleanor Beaton. Don't know if you can see that. Eleanor Beaton, there you go. I took some notes. Yes, so it's all about remaining positive. Where was I? Taking one step at a time, making small decisions on the daily, and just simply doing the best you can. Once you've had an emotional outpouring, do your best to then jump on the positive bandwagon. You will have, after you've cried, after you've had a meltdown, you will have some really feel-good chemicals going around your body. It's your opportunity to maximize on that feeling and that sensation, to find some good news, do something with your business, do something positive with your business, create a freebie for people, create excitement, create a different perspective, communicate with people, think outside the box, create something that you can do online. And of course, exercise is one of the most important things that we can do for our emotions right now. And, we all need to do that. And I think we're all being kind of brainwashed that we need to exercise at the moment. And I'm just so thrilled with this because I'm so passionate about exercise for our mental health. Okay, tip number 3, which I absolutely love. Now, I love this because my granddad was a Royal Marine and I am marrying an ex-sailor. So I have a bit of a thing for the military, bit of a kind of, yeah, if you know what I mean, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, that kind of a thing. So anyway, the Royal Marines slogan is improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay, and they use this idea, this concept, to help them get through crisis. It's a mindset shift. That's all it is. It's a different way of looking at things. And if you can get into this idea, improvise, adapt, and overcome, you are not just going to survive this period, but you are going to thrive in this period. So, how can we improvise? So at the moment, I'll just give you some of my examples, but you can give me some of your ideas as well. I teach singing lessons, and I teach one-to-one singing lessons here in my studio, and they form quite a significant part of my income. But obviously I can't do one-to-ones at the moment, so I'm having to do them online, and I've had to buy in some equipment. I've had to really quickly think about how the hell can I actually teach singing online. I have done a few lessons in the past, but not loads. So I'm really having to, improvise my singing lessons. I don't always know what I'm going to do. I have a client in front of me via Zoom, and I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just thinking outside the box, and I'm just letting the ideas drop into my brain as I'm there. So, improvising is just about thinking outside of the box and becoming inspired by what other people are doing, but also, if everyone else is going right, you can go left. Just think a little bit differently. What resources do you have? So at the moment, I am thinking that I'm going to start teaching some exercise classes online. And, you probably don't know this about me, but 20 years ago, I used to teach aerobics. I have an exercise to music qualification. So I am going to bring something like that back in, because online exercise classes are taking off. I think there was like 20 people in my online yoga class this morning. So I'm like, right, bang, in there like swimwear. I'm having some of that. And it is scary, but this is where you learn to overcome. You overcome that fear. So how can you improvise with food, right? So we know that food's not scarce at the moment, but the farm to fork cycle has got a little bit skewed whilst everyone's been panic buying. So we need to learn to become a bit more resourceful with food. How can we not waste food? How can we create meals and dishes that are using up scraps, right? How can we make the most of this time online? How can we really feel into the online space? Zoom is free for one-to-ones. I wish I'd taken out investments in Zoom, actually. I bet their profit margins have gone right up. So, open up a Zoom room, have virtual conversations with people, create virtual conferences. There's always a way if you improvise. In fact, there are loads of comedy improvisation classes that are now being held online, and I recommend you just get involved. Now we don't have the whole sort of inconvenience of having to travel anywhere. We can do whatever we like from home. It's great. So that's improvise. How can we adapt then? So how can we adapt to this reduction in income? Well, my policy at the moment is I'm not selling. Right? What I am doing is taking the time to build relationships with potential clients. So building relationships, having conversations with people, finding out what people actually need and want at this time. I'm taking the time to create free content for people, because I'm listening to what they need, and I'm creating something which will help to give them more comfort, more clarity, and help them have like a new way of thinking right now. And so you have time for all these things now. So it's really about just going ahead and doing it, and understanding as well, how else can we adapt? There are jobs out there. If your income has really significantly reduced and you don't know what you're going to do, get a job. So, there was a queue in Asda. In Asda, on Friday, they employed 14 people on the spot. No interview, no nothing. There's Deliveroo drivers. You can be an Amazon delivery person. You could start making Meals on Wheels for people. There are things that we need to survive. And it's not the survival of the fittest. It's survival of the most adaptable in this day and age. So, check your neighbourhood apps. There's an app called Nextdoor, which is great. Have a look on that. What's going on Facebook? How can you get involved? And what can you do to think outside the box if you're having to adapt to a reduced income. And I'm quite excited about this. You know, I'm really excited about the new opportunities that this adaptation will bring. And you know, destruction always precedes discovery, right? We always have to break down in order to rebuild. That's the essence of an RTT session. Breaking somebody down, breaking somebody open, seeing what's inside, helping them to just see and express. So there's a breaking open. There's such beauty in breaking open, because once we've broken open, we've created a void, and nature has to fill a void. It has to. There's no way it cannot. It's one of the rules of nature, like gravity. Every space has to be filled, apart from those anomalies in space like black holes, where the rules of the universe don't exist. But, you know, we have to create voids if we are going to fill it up with something new. So I'm embracing it. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next. Obviously adaptation in exercise as well. So looking at what you've got in your house, what can you lift in your house? Obviously stay safe. If you don't have dumbbells and stuff in your house, you can use your own body weight for resistance. Maybe you can use a chair for tricep dips. Squats and lunges are always great, using your own body weight as well. So, you know, jumping jacks, things like that. Walking up and down the stairs 10 times. Okay, so the third one is overcome. How can you overcome the mental challenges to this improvising and adapting that we need? So this is really about just doing it. So we talk a lot in the coaching world and in the therapy world about exiting your comfort zone, getting out of your comfort zone. And really the only way to get out of your comfort zone is not think about it. So when we're having to improvise, adapt, we have to overcome, right? And the best way to do it is just snap your fingers and do it. So a lot of teachers, therapists, coaches, anybody, in fact, we're all being asked to do things differently. We've all got skills deep down inside that people need and want right now. So now is not the time for people pleasing. Now is not the time for apologizing, oh sorry, and staying really, really small. Now is not the time for doubting yourself. Now is the time for getting up, getting out there, getting off your ass, getting out there, hit send, hit live, hit record, say what you've got to say, be brave, roll up your sleeves. And the wonderful thing about this period in time is that every single person on the planet's life is changing, has changed, unrecognizably in some cases. And this is a wonderful thing because it means the playing field is being leveled, right? We're leveling the playing field. No one is better or worse than anyone else. Okay, we've all got a skill. We've all been affected by it, and we can all help. So this is about stepping up right now. If you've been thinking about stepping up and stepping into an online game, now is the time to do it, right? Don't wait. The time for waiting is over. Create that course. Go live. Create that virtual exercise class. Create that virtual slimming club. Create that virtual networking, whatever it is. You've got ideas. Let me know what they are. And something else I wanted to say was, you know, we're all terrified of an economic downturn. You know, house prices falling, people not having any money to spend. So what I want to say is keep spending money. Now, you're probably going to want to shoot me in the head for saying that. You're like, I don't have any money. We all have, or not all of us, but we might have a little bit, a tiny, teeny bit of disposable income. even if it's £10 a week or £20 a week or £50 a week, whatever disposable income we have, think about putting it back into the community. So spend what you have. Spend on your local yogi, on your local yoga class. Spend it on your local massage therapist when things start, when you're able to start having a massage again. Spend money with your local PT. Spend money at your local grocers. Spend money having singing lessons. Spend money on, I don't know, I can't think off the top of my head what other online things. A little piece of craft or something that somebody local has made. Stay as local as you can. Help your local businesses and try not to buy into a lack or fear-based scarcity mindset. So this is what I am committed to doing, even though the income is, dwindling a little bit right now. I'm still committed to spending money on things that I used to spend my money on. I'm still doing my online yoga. I'm still committed to having my PT sessions. Can't have my nails done at the moment. Can't have my hair done at the moment. But I will do what I can to support the local community. I think this is really, really important to not sort of stockpile cash as well, because we need to keep that flow of income and expenditure going if we want to see our businesses build. Okay. So my final point then is bringing it back full circle, talking about the menopause. Menopause is not going away, right? Coronavirus or no coronavirus, the menopause is not going away. We still have to be healthy. We still have to exercise. We still have to reduce stress, and we still have to sleep properly. These are my 4, key pillars of a healthy menopause. You still have a body, so the same rules apply. Make sure that you, if you're isolating, if you're, I prefer to call it cocooning, if you're cocooning at the moment, don't binge on biscuits. If you are going out into a supermarket, buy whatever fresh fruit and vegetables they've got. Improvise, adapt and overcome. Avoid biscuits, avoid cakes, avoid sweets. Have a little bit of dark chocolate if you need to for a bit of pick-me-up. But, you still have a body, and your body is going to be, the health of your body is going to be the most important thing in getting through this virus. As I said before, there is a video somewhere on the Menopause Mindset group with an interview. It's a YouTube video. I think it's Sky News with a cardiologist talking about metabolic syndrome. Now, this is amazing. We need to remember this. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for watching. So in conclusion then, express your emotions. Remember to say it's okay, it's okay, it's okay that I feel this way. Number 2, change the words and the pictures that you have in your head. You can just as easily think about an apocalyptic landscape as you can a beautiful meadow with lots of wildflowers growing, okay? So your landscape, your internal landscape, really depicts your feelings. It helps you stay motivated, and it helps you stay inspirational to others as well. The more we can inspire others, the more we will get through this. Inspiring other people will help their immune systems boost as well. And number 3 was improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed today's live. I'm really fired up at the moment. I'm so excited, weirdly excited about the possibilities that are being opened up because of this. And of course, I am still teaching singing lessons, so if you fancy having a singing lesson online, or if you need some therapy, if you want some RTT, that works brilliantly online as well. So just drop me a direct message or visit my website, which you can see, whoops, right there. And that's it. I will see you next week. Remember, stay safe, stay well, wash your hands, don't cuddle each other, stay a nice, safe distance, and enjoy this time. Lots of love. Bye.